some sort of fan. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I'm going to have this brew now, and I'm going to start packing away the insides and sort the tent out. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. Right, so I've just had my brew in my new mug. I'm just packing away quickly now because the looking over there, it looks like it might rain. And I was having a look again. So there's a race, sponsored walk called the 10 in 10, which is 10 mountains. And it doesn't include this one, but I think when I seen people up there at 5 o'clock in the morning, it could well have been the marshals ready for a long day on the fells. That's everything packed in here, so I'll get the tent down. Schoolboy error. I've packed my peg bag in the bloody bottom of the rucksack. Haha, found it. I do like this pouch that's next to the pole, so you know it's all in one, but it does become a little bit of a pain trying to sort of put your poles in. And yeah, so there's another guy coming off the fell there. So there is quite a few early starters this time of year. You know, what time are we on now? 6 o'clock. A bit more of a normal time, I suppose. Yeah, I might just go up and over the edge just because I do prefer that way. You get better, you get nicer views all the way down. So this is what I mean by, because your pegs are in there, sometimes it can be a bit of a pain. Still trying to figure out what to do with this thing here. Do you just fold it over and then loop it down, possibly mash it together, and yeah, I suppose that works better. Right, let's get all this crap in here. Put these down this side here, I think, and I'll whack this tent in the top. Now I've got to figure out how we put these poles. I suppose they're light enough you can do that. There we go. And there we go. Right guys, I've been banging on about this stuff, but there was some photos of some guys, 25 lads, and then found a YouTube video as well. Down Buttermere, camped on the side, causing mayhem. I mean, they came out for innocent fun. They enjoyed themselves. They didn't hurt anyone, but they left an absolute mess. And we need to get across this mentality. In the video, they did say they brought some bags home and stuff, but I don't think they all did. And that's going to put bad on all of them, I suppose, because you know, even if the majority did, the photos that I seen, the tents and the devastation that they left, and you could tell it was them. Okay, we're back onto the main path. I'm going to go back up to the top just to have a look at the view and head off back down the ridge. I did actually say I was going to go down the back there, but you get nicer views coming down this way, and yeah, it's just all out and out better. People may ask sort of, why am I promoting wild camping when there's all this problem with rubbish and everything? It's like everything really. There's always fun to be had until someone loses an eye. It's good fun. I like it, and I want other people to enjoy it, but in the right way. Not fly camping, not party campers or whatever. You know, I don't mind bushcraft, you know, they say no fires. But bushcraft done properly is respecting the environment, not hacking a big tree down that's alive. And, you know, the whole art of bushcraft is all about respecting nature. Understand if you're having a fire, what you're doing. You know, if you're on a beach down by the lake having a controlled fire with rocks around you, using driftwood or wood that you brought yourself, don't really see a problem with that. It is frowned on by the national park. Me personally, I think as long as it's controlled, you're not annoying anyone, I think that's fine. I wouldn't do it myself because you're not allowed. But it happens. The time I was up Waller Crag over there, I think I counted about 4 fires, and that was just after Easter. It was a Saturday night. It could have been the Easter holidays actually. It was whenever Mountain Festival was on. But, you know, so it happens. So we have to kind of live with this. But we don't have to live with the fact that you get 25 guys coming out, chopping trees down, leaving tents, making a mess, and leaving a mess. So I'm doing this to try and sort of promote wild camping. I mean, I wouldn't say I do it properly, but ethically, nicely, leave no trace, leave no, like, you know, come up. I don't think I've annoyed anyone. I mean, you could see my tent, but the very few people that were here, I'm sure, I mean, 6 o'clock now and I'm off. There's no trace, I was here. So, and I still enjoyed myself, had a good night in the fells. This is another reason why I'm doing these videos, to sort of try and promote it, to be done right. For the national park to respect what we do, and which they do. You know, there's guidelines on their website, even though they say strictly it's illegal, but it's tolerated. So here's your guidelines. I'll put a link in the description. So I'm using that to my full potential. I live in the Lake District, so I'm going to use the Lake District. But yeah, we just need to sort of get something across to these guys coming. It's no place for a party, you know. It's fine coming up, even come up with 3 mates, having a laugh in the fells. It's that leave no trace, don't create any havoc, and don't chop trees down, mate. You know, even if you think the tree's dead, you're obviously chopping it down, you don't know what you're doing. Can you imagine that without any trees? We've already devastated these fells. These fells used to be absolutely covered in trees all the way up. We used to live higher up on the fells many years ago. You know, so this would have all been covered just like that, all around. So all that's gone. So we need to keep what we've got left. Right. Downers always seem to be talking about, as soon as I say leave no trace, I'm on one. Speaking of downers, we're coming up to the top now. Right, let's enjoy this. Are we going to be 6:30? The only people up here. Let's have a look. Okay, there's no one on top. Have we got a clear ridge? Yes. So you can see most of the mountain from here. And I know for a fact there's no one that way. So I can officially say I'm the only one on the hill, which for a Saturday, summer holidays, is very rare. Very rare. That's coming in, so I'm going to head off down. My legs are a lot better today than they were yesterday. I could hardly walk down a bloody steps. I was using my sticks, and so glad I got them actually. I'm trying to sort of get used to them, when to use them, when not to use them. I think steps and scrambles, you can use them. I think if it had been wet today, I'd be using them. Right, so here, as we come over this bit here, this little section here, this is where we sort of step down onto this little scramble. So I'm just going to step down this little scramble now. And you can see how worn this is by the amount of traffic and the amount of people that come up here, which is fine. This is kind of the sacrificial fell that everyone goes up to make sure that everything else is so nice. When you look at Bleaberry Fell up there, the main path up there, you can't really see it unless you know where it's at. Even where are we at? Even Skidder, you can't really see where the path is, and this one's maybe twice as wide as Skidder path. Certainly a recognised one, but it is a busy mountain, and you can tell why. You know, it's such a nice fell. The views and the access to this is quite easy. You know, you can park up in Keswick and then grab the boat across, come up here, and you can either come down Horsegate, get the boat, go back round, or you can come back down where you came from, pick the boat up. And there's a boat that goes clockwise and one that goes anti-clockwise. So yeah, it's quite accessible. They should really promote the boat trips across and coming up here a bit more, really. They always bang on about parking, but there's loads of parking in town, and it's quite nice to get the boat across, and it doesn't cost too much. That scramble successfully navigated down there. Okay, that was the first fell runner past me, and it's getting warm as I'm dropping down. The wind's just totally died off. Yeah, there's no one behind me. I'm just wondering if anyone was sort of catching up with me because I'm sitting here filming and rambling on. Oh, you know, it's the smell of bracken on a Saturday morning. It wakens you up, it livens you up. It's nice that, it's just nice. Just the smell of bracken and summer. You know, there's a bit of summer air. We've had so much winter air recently. Don't want to lose them. You know, last week the wind was coming from the north, and albeit it was a windy night last night, it kept warm. I was hot. I could have gone to my lightweight 2-season bag, which I maybe should have. Give it another try. So hopefully this weather stays. Right, well, I'm gonna rabble on a bit more because I might put this in a 2-parter. Going up there, tripping over nothing, and coming back down, which means I can talk to the camera even more, which I love doing. It's almost like someone's with you. I was just talking to someone about the videos and saying that when you're talking to the camera, you get so used to talking to a camera, it actually feels like somebody's here. So you get, obviously you don't get a conversation back, but you do actually talk to the camera like people, like it is someone there. So you don't feel as lonely. So I can see why people doing like long walks and all these sort of adventure videos and talk to the camera, and just feels like you've got somebody there if you're feeling a bit lonely. That's just up there, Stonycroft Gill. You get a lot of gill scramblers, a little car park down there, and you just see them offloading in the wetsuits going up that gill. In fact, it's been so warm at the minute, even though it's claggy like this compared to last week. It was really cold. I had 2 jackets on. I've got this lightweight, it's a Nerona Alpha, I think it's called. Lightweight jacket on. It's just a little windproof. I'm boiling hot. I wish I'd packed some shorts actually. But, you know, like I say, the wind was warm, more like a summer wind. It was coming from the south. But look how untouched that lake looks. Looks like glass. So this is the good thing about this ridge and why people like it, and again why I've chose to come down this way, because you get views all the way down. You've got that one side and you've got that the other, and then when you're walking down you've got that. So it's you can see why it's such a popular fell and why I go up many times. I've been up here countless times, so I know it really well as far as fells are concerned. I mean, I do go up all the other fells as well, but this one in particular, Scott, I won't say it's my favourite, but it's certainly one of them, especially when it's quiet like this. And you get to meet all sorts coming up here. I do like to go out on the fells that are less ventured, but sometimes, you know, you see people coming up here and stop and have a chat. You know, there's this thing about being out on the fells and saying hi to everyone that you talk to. You see, it's almost a given, and it's funny when people kind of ignore you and they've still got that city vibe on and they don't, you know, it's almost like you know, we're in the same world. You know, we're both fell walkers, or we're both out in the fells, and you know, it's like, I don't know, I suppose it's likened to if you've got a certain type of car, an old Mini. I think it's one of them. If you've got to transport a camper van, you wave at another camper. If you're a cyclist, you wave at another cyclist. So it's very similar to that, you know. It's like we're both in this world together, or you're part of my crew kind of thing. And I think that's probably why, you know, people do it, and I do it all the time. It's almost like a walker etiquette to say hi to everyone you go past. Dogs, people, sheep, everything, rocks. But yeah, you do see these people that have come straight off from the city, where you don't talk to, or tend not to talk to anyone, because you don't know anyone. It can be a bit strange saying hi to people, and they come up here and they ignore you. You know, even if you say hi, some people ignore you, and it's just, it's not ignorance. It's not, you know, it's just they're not, maybe a bit they don't understand the sort of world of the mountain world. They don't understand the sort of I don't know, it's just, maybe it's uncomfortable for them. I suppose it's like me going to a city and ignoring everyone. I find that uncomfortable, you know, especially in a dark street, going past somebody. I'll say hi. Maybe I shouldn't. No, it's different mentalities. You know, I grew up around here. I grew up here, and I'll say hi to pretty much everyone if they're sort of looking towards me. I obviously won't go down a busy street going hi, 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 hi. But certainly up the mountains, it's almost like a done thing. You have to say hi. And then if you haven't got anything to talk about, what do? Talk about the weather, talk about the views. That's kind of, again, another British thing, because the weather's so changing around here. I suppose it is something we do talk about a lot. When the sun's hot, it's not just hot, it's like, oh, why is it always hot? It's hotter than Spain. 30 degrees here is like different to 30 degrees in Spain. I'm sure it is, because the humidity that you get here is a bit different. See some people getting ready to come up the fell. Yeah, so when, you know, if you're going out and it's raining, you get geared up for when it's raining. When suddenly England gets iced over, we all panic, whereas other places that get iced over every year, they're all used to it. They're all geared up for it. We're coming down to the second scramble of Catbells. Our second one coming down on the first one going up. Quite an easy one. If you're a bit uneasy on your feet, you can go off that way. Common route is to come down there, or you can go off that way. With the legs the way mine are at the moment, still a bit jellified, I'm going to go this way. This is the route I take. The route I find the easiest. Right down the edge, right down this way. I think some of my guides coming up here say to come off this way. It's still steppy, but it changes. Yeah, that rock there, let's have a look, see if you can see. That rock there was up there a few months ago. So it does change with the weather and obviously the amount of traffic that this mountain gets. Yeah, there's a fair bit of erosion on this side as well. That is the scramble done, so it shows you, you know, a couple of steps, and that's it. Right, so as you're coming down here, you know, I was on about erosion. Erosion control, please help us fix the fells by sticking to the footpath. Now, that scramble there, obviously, you're allowed to go different ways. But mainly when you sort of come to it, try and stick to the paths. It's kind of what they're for. Stops paths getting too wide. Again, I do say this is a sacrificial fell, but it's still a fell all in all. It still wants to still be here. I mean, it always will be. Look how calm that lake is. You can even see like birds, ducks or whatever it is, swimming. You can see the wakes. It's that calm. I mean, obviously when the lake gets busier with boats, it gets less calm. And so you don't often see Derwent water as a lake really calm, unless it's like a really calm winter's day when no one's been out, or 6:30 on a Saturday morning. This here is a lovely little picnic area. I go past it all the time, but you know, if you don't want to do a big fell and just want to get a view, you can come up to this just below the first scramble, and you can still get nice views. I mean, look at that, you know. I'll be happy with that. You can see the fell that we've come down along the ridge. But yeah, I'll be quite happy with that. And it doesn't take too much to get up here. Nice little flat grassy place. You can sit there, have a picnic or whatever, go back down. Don't see anything wrong with that. You sometimes get that. I remember one time we were in Buttermere in the lake, and we were swimming in the lake, and it was gorgeous. And we got back over to Keswick, and we were talking to the guys, and why were you swimming in the lake in this weather? Keswick, which was like literally, I mean, Buttermere is just over that mountain there. Keswick was engulfed in thunderstorms, and we couldn't even see them. It was a lovely day. You know, it was. I think it was cloudy, but it was warm. It was like this. It was calm, and you know, one valley on, you've got thunderstorms. And as you can see, you know, here it's nice and dry. The other side of that valley, it's raining now. Heading off down, because I think the forecast is to start raining. So I'm quite glad I came down early on. I would have a wet tent, because I'm going away in a couple of days. It might not get dried. You just see that sort of misty stuff in the valley there on the other side. And I can start to feel spots of rain now, so getting a little bit of a groove on. And get down. Normally it wouldn't bother me, but I'm all dry and I want to stay dry. I think it's just light rain anyway. Good timing getting the tent down now, at least couldn't have timed that one better. Yeah, the rain's coming in now. Ground's starting to get a bit wet. Again, with the wind being, well, on the top there, it's probably 15. Now we know a bit more with the old wind speedometer. I thought I was further down than I was. What was I saying about how well I know this mountain? Okay, we're levelling off. We're coming to the start now. That's the start, just down there. So you can park your cars and stuff. I'm not saying where to park a car, because yeah, there's some places you shouldn't be parking, and everyone doesn't get tickets. On that note, if you see double yellow lines and you're parking off the road, you can still get a ticket. There's a place where if there's double yellows down there, and there's parking on the opposite side, and they still ticket you. So I'm not entirely sure what the rules are, but you can still get a ticket. So if you are thinking, oh, I found a great parking place here, I'll park on the opposite side of the, not on the opposite side, I'll park over the double yellow lines, still get a ticket. Right, my legs seem to have been I was a bit worried about what they'd be like coming down here, but another day. I think, when did I do that walk? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's taken 3 days to actually get something. They were at the worst on the second day, but it's taken 3 days to actually get a little bit. I mean, they're still sore, but at least I've got a bit of control on my legs. I found a real jelly leg in the morning, and I was just stood up, and my legs kind of gave way, and it was a funny one. It was like almost like I was drunk, and I was just sort of stood there and had to catch myself, and it was just because I was trying to sort of not use my muscles and just balance, I suppose. Right, well, we're nearly back, and I think I've gone on for way too long. So this has been another epic wild camp. This has been Lost in the Lakes, and we'll see you in the next one.